We have had written statements from the attorneys. You are the first person that we are able to speak to live, but we haven't heard from Bill Cosby personally. So I'm wondering, what has he told you about these accusations?
And certainly I'm not going to reveal client confidences. I'm counsel for Mr. Cosby, and anything that he says to me is said in confidence. But when his attorneys speak, we're speaking for him. So when we speak and say that he denies all of the allegations and accusations, then that is the statement of Bill Cosby. And when you look at the recent filings, just as recently as 2 days ago, in another case in Pennsylvania, those are the statements of Mr. Cosby. It's not necessary for him to do anything more than what he's doing, which is relying on able counsel to speak for him in a situation where he, one, has neither been charged with nor, two, convicted of any crime. So even though we hear excerpts from accusers and we see headlines that discuss things like calling him a rapist or saying that he's committed sexual assault, the case actually is in a civil court and there are no criminal charges filed. And I think it's important, no matter what manner the attorneys are speaking for him or the media is covering it, that's a point that stays clear.
It's not just excerpts from accusers. We've also heard Mr. Cosby in his own words. These are revelations that have come out of this deposition from the 2005 Andrea Constand case. One of the big headlines from that is that Bill Cosby admits that he got 7 prescriptions for the powerful sedative called Quaaludes, not so that he could use them, but so that he could give them to women that he wanted to have sex with. And we have heard from the accusers that he did give them a powerful sedative, so powerful that they could not consent to sex with him. What is your response to that revelation?
And it's not really a revelation that Quaaludes were used in the 70s. They were commonly used as a partying drug, and they were also known to be used to increase sexual arousal. And Mr. Cosby admitted in his deposition to offering one person who he was in a relationship with Quaaludes during that time period, and that person accepted it. And so when we see, again, excerpts saying that it's a powerful sedative, but not talking about the fact that it was also a commonly used party drug during the 70s.
Ms. Presley, I've interviewed 11 of the accusers. None of them were Quaalude users. Furthermore, none of them consented to using Quaaludes. They all accepted a drink, sometimes a cappuccino, not even an alcoholic drink, and afterwards they became unconscious. Then none of them consented.
The interesting part about you saying that you've interviewed them and then you accept what they said is true. However, when you listen to the denial of the accusations by Mr. Cosby through his attorneys repeatedly from the beginning, that's looked at and scoffed to me.
So why did he get 7 prescriptions for Quaaludes? That sounds like more than just one woman that he offered a Quaalude to. That sounds like he wanted to give them to women. And in fact, in his own words, he says they were for the purpose of giving to women, plural.
And what you're discussing is not a crime. For a person to offer a substance in a consensual relationship to a person with knowledge and for them to choose to accept it is not criminal. It isn't even news,
they
actually,
say that they had
for
no
that
choice,
to happen.
That he slipped it to them. What is his response to that?
And as he said a number of times, that's been denied. One, that he ever slipped without a person's knowing, male or female, a drug of any sort to them. And two, that there was ever between him and any other adult non-consensual sex. Those two things. And actually, if you look at the manner in which the people who are lodging the accusations have done so, we're seeing cases that come forward 10, 20, 30, and even 40, such as the California case, 40 years later, where it leaves the very precepts of our justice system unable to be followed through.